AP, I'm going to go over how to get started with your straw maquettes. So in the PowerPoint, you are going to choose from these categories right here. So an asymmetrical maquette, a radial maquette, repeated shape where you're making like multiple like forms or cubes or cylinders or squares and you're putting things with each other, one that has movement, or your choice. So you're going to be making 3 maquettes to help you figure out what your final wood project is going to look like. So I have right now on my desk my hot glue gun. I just put a hot glue stick in this. When you are working with the hot glue gun, I will warn you that these get extremely hot, and every year I have kids burn themselves. So you need to make sure that that piece of cardboard that is in your tub is under it so it can catch any hot glue that drips out. And then when you're done, make sure you unplug it and don't set it on top of anything in the tub or anything plastic because it will melt and burn whatever the tip is sitting on. I also have a cup of water that I'll dip my fingers in when I'm working, and then I have my straws and scissors. So I'm going to switch the angle of this to this and kind of show you what to do. So I have some straws to start with. You are not going to be using the straw its full length. I would actually prefer that you cut this down because what's going to happen later on is if something in the straw maquette is 2 inches, it will be 4 inches out of wood. If something like this piece is 6 inches, then that means you would need a 12 inch of wood. So I'd prefer you cut these down so you're not working with jumbo size wood pieces. Okay. So how do I start? So I could start with the repeated shape. I could start with something that has movement. I just need to slowly figure out what kind of form I want to make. So when you're working, just use a tiny bit of hot glue, like the tiniest amount, because if you are working with the hot glue for too long, it is going to burn the straw also. So you're going to want to hold the pieces together and just blow, and it should stay. I shouldn't see really big clumps of glue everywhere, and you should be picking off the little strands of glue as you go. Okay, so let's say I want a piece glued here now. I'm going to make like a diamond. So I'm going to put a little piece of glue. And the wood I got this year is about the same size as the straw so that it converts a little bit easier. But I do have a thicker wood in my class if anyone wants a variety of wood. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here also. And then I'm going to hold these together at the same time. And then when this is stuck, I'm gonna cut this little end off here. So I have some string hanging. So this is really hot. Let's say I want to touch this area. I can dip my fingers in my water and kind of push it together so my fingers don't get burnt. Okay, I'm gonna trim this off. I'm gonna lay this down now and I'm gonna start to build up. So let's say I want a little here. Just hold it. And this is not easy. Like I would probably recommend you sitting at a kitchen counter to do this. I definitely would not sit on carpet and do this because if your hot glue gun falls on carpet, it's going to burn the carpet. Okay, so I'm going to put a little hot glue up here. And it's okay that that other piece fell down. It will re-glue. I'm going to just hold this for a minute. And then I'm going to grab another straw. And when you're making these, you need to make sure that you're not gluing your piece to like a table or base. That's another issue I've seen. Put a little bit of glue there, and then I'm gonna hold that down. Okay. So I have a little something going. I'm gonna cut the tops of these off, and I need to do that after this dries. So I'm gonna cut this here. I'm gonna save these pieces that I cut off because I can use them. I could put them back in my little brown bag. So I have right now a pyramid-esque triangle form, okay? So I would keep going. So I could make a whole bunch of these little pyramid forms and attach them and create some kind of movement. I could build smaller versions of them and then put them inside. It's kind of up to you, but these are just some basics for working with the hot glue. And I'm going to pick off these little strands. If you have a lot of glue clumped up, you can take the tip of your hot glue gun and just rub the side of it over, and that will help gloss some of that glue off. Okay, so that is a basic starting point for my little maquette. Again, you'll want to try to do something that's asymmetrical, radial, or repeated shape, something that has movement, or your choice. So you are going to make 3 maquettes, and this week on Friday, I believe you will be submitting what you have in progress, and I'll give you some feedback as to what I think is most successful, what you should add, or maybe you need to make more maquettes, etc. But we can always Zoom, because Zoom could be the easiest way to get really quick, immediate feedback. Let's start.